Are you having a great career conference? Awesome. Well, I'm so excited to share with you today on how to build your team. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to talk about the benefits, how to shift your mindset to being a powerful team builder, how to get the know-how on what do I do, right? And then how to even catch yourself if you fall into bad thoughts, like the video, right? And then leave you with a challenge too, okay? But first, we're gonna do a little audience participation. Y'all been sitting the last hour, right? So we're gonna do some things. So what I want you to do is find a partner or 2 or 3, first of all, just wherever you're sitting. If you're sitting by yourself, go make a new friend and sit by somebody else, okay? And we are gonna brainstorm the top 5 benefits team building would give you, okay? So you and your little 2 or 3, 4, whatever, just your little group, are gonna come up with 5. Don't start yet, okay? No cheating. So when you get your 5, your group is gonna jump up and you're gonna go, woo-hoo, like that. Are you ready? We're gonna practice it first. So put your notebook down. And you ready? I'm gonna count to 3 and then we're all gonna woo-hoo it together. Here you go. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Love it! Y'all are great woo-hooers. All right. So you and your group, 5 benefits. Whichever ones, as you get done first, you woo-hoo it because I'm going to be watching, and then you're going to share those, okay, with everybody. So ready, set, go.
My name's Friendship. Changing people's lives.
Okay, yep. Making new friends. And
there's our first one. Oh, there's our second one.
Prizes.
Sixth one. Third one.
Travel. Woo!
I love it. Okay, so I want this first group. Keep going. Oh, we'll get a few more. All right, so I want the first group, the second group, and this third one. Y'all run up front. Woo, everybody's getting their 5 or 4. Love it. Okay, did y'all hear me? First group back here. Come on up front, up on the stage. Second group, third group, come on the stage.
Where are you guys? You guys are stuck, aren't you?
Give them some applause. Hey, Mike, are we on? Are we on? Yeah, we're on now. All right. Woo. So we're gonna let we're still woo-hooing. Okay, y'all come all the way across. Don't you love being on stage? I feel so good. Okay, so we probably have a spokesperson for each group. Am I correct? Okay. So who was our very first group? Okay, I love it. So share your 5 benefits.
Commission, more prizes, promotion, directorship, and a car.
There you go. She laid it out, didn't she?
Money, the cruise, friends, fun, and directorship.
Okay, great. Okay, did y'all get anything different over here?
Be your own boss, car, commissions, awards, trips, and sisterhood.
Yeah, ooh, sisterhood. We didn't get that one. All together. Okay, great. Okay, so while you're up front, y'all get to do something for me. Okay, how many new consultants? Like this is your first career conference. All right, awesome. How many new consultants since January on? Yes. And do we have anybody that just started in March? A few. You get to bring your besties. I love that promotion. Okay, are y'all familiar? A little bit, some of you. Okay, so this is what we call a living lineup. I haven't even done this with my own unit in a bit, but I'm just going to ask them to read the back of the cards. I'm mainly doing this. Why don't y'all like take 2 steps forward so you're a little closer up here to me. And it's going to just show you our career path. Okay, for some of you, it might be a reminder It might paint that picture. This was the first way that I ever really saw all this opportunity could afford was the living lineup, okay? So I'm gonna give you each a card, and then we'll pass the mic down. Oh, we should go left or right. That'll mess y'all up, right?
It's like reading Hebrew.
Do you read Hebrew?
Okay, girl, you just get to look cute like me. Okay. All right, here we go. Read it and then pass the mic.
Beauty consultant. I buy at wholesale and sell at retail, making 50% from my sales. I get great quarterly prizes for being a star consultant.
I am a senior consultant. I have 1 to 2 team members. I earn 4% commission on what my team orders and a $50 bonus for each Great Start qualified team member.
Yes, and, oh, and the $100 bonus. I don't have it on my sheet. Okay, yes, when you're a new Star Team Builder, you get a $100 bonus. Where are our senior consultants in the house? Stand up! You're so close to red, right? Because here we go, it's 100 here.
Star Team Builder red jacket. I have 3 to 4 team members. I can wear the red jacket. I earn 4 to 6 or 8% commission from my team orders. I can earn a $50 bonus for each Great Start qualified team member, and I can earn a $100 bonus for being a first-time Star Team Builder.
I'm a team leader. I have 5 to 7 team members. I wear the red jacket. I earn 9 to 13% commission from my team orders. I can earn a $50 bonus for each Great Start Team qualified member. And I can go on the target for a Chevy Malibu.
I am a future director at DIQ. I have 8 team members and I am a future director. With 8 team members, I can submit for director in qualification and build to 24 plus to be a sales director. I still receive 9 to 13% commission and $50 bonuses for new qualified team members.
I am a sales director. I have 24 plus unit members. I receive all that is before me, point back to the plus 9 to 13% of my entire unit, even of my orders, a limited unit volume bonuses, receive $100 team building bonuses, receive 300 to 500 unit development bonuses.
Really?
Receive star consultant bonuses, $300 to $500, $1,000 move up bonus. Qualify for free car, Mini Coupe Traverse, Chevy Equinox, or the Cadillac XT5, and qualify for a luxury, all expense paid trip.
I am a senior sales director to elite executive sales director. I have 1 to 8 offspring sales directors. I receive all of what is before you, including the fabulous director compensation, plus 500 bonus for each new qualified offspring and 4 to 6 commission from offspring directors.
I am a national sales director. It gets even better here. 2 to 10% commission for each offspring director. $1,000 to $5,000 bonuses for each offspring sales director. $10,000 bonus annually for each new national sales director offspring. Cadillac of my choice. Best of all, family security program. When I retire at 65, Mary Kay will pay me 60% of my top yearly earnings for 15 years. If I should pass away, my family will continue to receive it. Now that's what I call security.
Now give these girls a huge round of applause. You are going to go all the way to the top, however top you want to go.
because you were brave enough to come on the stage and do something you didn't even know you were going to do. So way to go. Thanks.
All right, so you heard all of that, so let's talk about the money a little, okay? Let's break it down. Let's say you added 3, you're a new consultant, and you added 3 new this month, and they were all qualified. Now, the Great Start Qualified, the exciting thing is they do have up to 4 months, so they can order 600 cumulative, or they can do it all in 1 month. But for our money figures, let's just say you added 3 and they all ordered this month, okay? So you have 3 and they're all qualified, $50 bonus for each one. How much is that? Okay, that would give you an 8% check because it's $1,800. If you did the math, I'll do the math for you. It's $144. So write down $150, $144, and you heard it. New Star Team Builder, which would be all of you, if you haven't done it before, you would get a $100 bonus. Add all that up, that's $394. Could you get excited about an almost $400 commission check, right? Then, if you're in your first 4 months, just new with this Great Start promotion, you will get $200 in free product for each one of those 3. Okay, 200 times 3. How much is that? $600 a product. You sell that plus your commission check, that's almost $1,000. Is that incredible? Is that like, if you need the money to go team build, but we showed you the money, okay? Also with that, you would be halfway to your destination red. With having 6 qualified team members, you would have 3. So 6 is the total. 3,600 wholesale, you just heard all kinds of ways of selling when you're seeing faces. And then that other qualification is to build 3 Star Team Builders. And know that you will do that with this promotion the company just launched of Bring Your Besties, right? Because every new consultant, when they know that they pass it on and they can have their first 3 team members come in for only a $75 kit, how inspiring is that, right? So what you want to do is absolutely team build in March and get this launched. So what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to change our thinking. Do y'all know that 80% of our business is our thoughts and our mindset, and only 20% is our skills? That's why a new consultant can come in and she can like go do amazing things because where's her mindset? She is so excited. I don't know if y'all know that emotional cycle, but bottom line, the top one is excitement. And excitement, when you're in that mode, you can do anything. But then sometimes we hit frustration and sometimes we stay there too long. And we gotta hit that recommitment, make a decision, and come back to excitement. So I hope that after being here, you are supercharged and you're in that excitement phase. Well, let's talk about this. Because we can look at team building 2 ways, and I'm sure we're all guilty of having looked at it this one way. So one way we look at it is, I gotta convince them. Come on, join my team. You wanna be on my team? And, oh, are you busy? Girl, you just work it in. Oh, are you not the sales type? Oh, that's the reason we need you. You know, and we just feel like we gotta convince them, hog tie them, lasso them in, right? Anybody ever felt like it's that? It's not. If you're feeling it that, then stop it. Because that's probably what you're conveying to people. The other way is to know that there are women out there, just like you guys, that want what Mary Kay offers, want this career path, want the flexibility, the sisterhood, all of that. And all we gotta do is share it and go find who wants what we have to offer. The first one's scarcity mindset. The second one is abundance, right? So if I told you next door is a room full of 100 women, go find 10 of them to join your team. If you're thinking that first way, that sounds like really intimidating, right? I gotta go convince them, I gotta, like make them join. No, but if you thought, if I told you instead, there's 100 women, 10 of them want what you have to give, all you gotta do is share it. and they want it. They're waiting for you to find them. How does that make you feel? A whole lot better, right? So that's the mindset you want. It's not about convincing. It's not about pressuring. It's just about offering and finding those who God's already laid out that are supposed to be on your team. The second thing that I think can stop us is we feel like we're responsible for them. Anybody ever felt that way? What if they fail? It's all my fault. Well, I got a question to ask you. How many of you have had a no in your Mary Kay business? Was it your recruiter's fault that you got a no? No, it was not. And just like, how many of you have sold something? Anything, right? Yeah. Was it your recruiter's fault that you sold? No. Was she responsible for it? Probably not. It was probably you. She might have helped you a little at the first, but you probably are smooth sailing on your own. So I want you to hold your hand out like this. And I want you just to remember, this is how you love your team. You love them unconditionally, absolutely. But you also love them with an open hand. And what that means is they may come in your life for a season, or a reason, or a lifetime, right? And if you're a senior or a consultant here, and you've been in a little bit, you've seen that, and you understand that. So don't try to hang on to them. You just love them with an open hand, not knowing. Because how many times have you brought somebody onto your team and you think, oh, this girl, she's gonna rock it. She is gonna be awesome, Amy. I mean, like, woo-hoo, look out. Or you think, oh, I don't know about this girl. But they always surprise you, right? Like one will do more and one won't, so you never know. So you just love them with an open hand and go from there. The third thing that can stop us is we feel like we don't know how to share. Yay, that's what we're gonna do this morning. I'm getting ready to teach you. Number 4, I don't know how to lead a team. Anybody ever felt that way? Well, I'm gonna give you just 2 fast tips. One is we used to say put them in your hip pocket. Literally, just have them come alongside you. You earn while they learn. So have them go with you to your parties, to your facials, to your sharing appointments, and let them just watch you. You do not have to go do everything for them, because honestly, I remember when I started, and I don't even know if y'all got my name. How funny. I'm Amy Bowman, by the way. There was no introduction. Amy Bowman. But when I started, I remember my adopted director, because my mother recruited me, and she lived about 4 hours from me. And my adopted director looked at me, she was so giving, but she was like, I'll go with you and help you hold your 3 first parties. And I looked at her and I said, no, I don't think you need to do that. What was my personality? A little D in me, right? Yeah, we don't want somebody to come and do it. And your team members don't need you to do it all either. You know, if you have guest events before your meetings or what have you, encourage them to plug into those, and they can learn and earn at the same time too. But you do not have to be the one to do it all. Okay, are we ready? We're gonna get down and dirty, how to share. So here is the deal. First thing up, step 1. I want you on your piece of paper right now to make a list of your dream team. I want you to come up with 10 names at least. And as soon as you get your 10 names, I want you to raise your hand and let's see how fast we can have everybody do it. Grab your phone, flip through that, people that have already been on your mind, whatever, but I want you to come up with it, and we're gonna pause here for a second and let you write. Great. Woo woo, over here. Ooh, 2, 3, 4, good. Here's some more. We're going to go ahead and move on. As you think of other people, keep adding to that list, okay? So step 2 is you're going to ask them. Okay, so I had a challenge I was going to issue, and I'm so glad Kay just took care of that for us last night. Your challenge is you are going to go home, and this week you're going to share with 10 people, okay? And you're going to be empowered here in just a minute on the steps of what you do, because it's one of those things that sometimes I think we can make it too hard, right? some of you are moms, and as you work with your kiddos, sometimes they make things harder than they are. Okay, and that's what we can do about team building, because sales we think comes easy, but this is really just another way of selling. You're just passing on your belief in something to somebody else, okay? So step 2 is asking. I would encourage you first, now this next week, you're gonna need to just jump in and contact these people and ask them. But if you are new and you have facial people, that of course can be a great thing. Or if you have any events coming up with your unit that you can facial them, or you already have parties, then you can share at those, all right? But you might ask them and say something like, hey girl, I'm so excited, I just got back from career conference, or I'm at career conference, and we had this challenge given to share with 10 people about our Mary Kay business. Would you help me and just listen? I don't know if it'd be for you or not, but I would love to share with you. And of course, I'd love to have you on my team, okay? It can be, that's just off the top of my head. So it can be as simple as you want. And another way you could phrase it is, I'll use what I actually wrote. Hey, would you be open to hear some info about a Mary Kay business? I know it may not be for you, and that's okay, but you'll at least help me with my challenge, and you deserve to know all the details. So use one of those, and right now we are going to have a partner next to you, and y'all are each going to practice saying it one time, okay? You ready? So we're going to role play with somebody sitting next to you. So you got your partner? Okay, so ready? Look at them. You ask them if they'll listen. They'll ask you if you'll listen, and then you can woohoo when you're done.
Woo!
Forgot about that part.
Okay, you ready? So step 3 is you're going to share. So 1, you're going to have your list. 2, you're going to ask. 3, we're just going to share the information, okay? Now, you can do this several of ways. You could do it at your parties. We have found a great tool, sometimes just to ask, because what do we do, girls? Our first thought is that we prejudge. We look at these people around the table, who would be on my team? Oh, she's cute, I'll take her. Oh, this girl's really outgoing, like she's talking the most. I'll take her. But we don't know who's really interested, right? And sometimes we'll prejudge, and maybe it's that quiet one that's just soaking it all in, that has this burning passion to make a difference in this world, or to be able to stay home with her children, or to be able to take her and her husband on a dream vacation that she can earn with Destination Red in these next months, right? So we have found a tool, and I'm just going to share it with you because it's on Google. It's called What Women Want, and it's just a one piece of paper sheet, and it just asks, it's like a survey, and it just asks some questions. So if you want to Google it and find it, just put in Mary Kay, What Women Want, and you should find it. And it asks about 4 or 5 open-ended questions. So at the end of our facials and parties, we just have our girls have their customers, they could fill it out while you're closing everybody individually, like you were taught earlier. Or if you're just even do a facial, the other day I had a facial, I was like, would you just fill this out while I run, grab your product out of my car? And I came back and she had really filled out, she's like, no, I don't think I want to do this. I said, that's okay. If you just fill it out, you're entered, because our unit, we do like a drawing for people just listening. And I said, you're entered in this drawing, and if you don't mind just filling it out. And so she did, ask basic questions of, what do you value most? And from what you heard today, and that would just be from your I story, your why story, what sounded the best? And what would you do with extra money? And what questions would you have? A scale of 1 to 10, where would you be? And the last question is basically, what would it take to make you a 10? So they fill that out, and needless to say, that girl actually, at her party, less than a week later, she signed up and became one of my new team members. And because she found in our conversation, there were some whys for her. At the top of it, it has some facts about the business. So anyway, so that's just a little tool that can help you not be a mind reader, or try to be a mind reader, but to find those that may have interest. Okay, so you're at a sharing time, an appointed time. Like you've contacted these 10 people, maybe you're meeting some back-to-back in a coffee shop. Maybe you have somebody meeting you 10 and then 10:30 and so on. Or maybe you're just even having to just talk with them over the phone because they're out of town. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna ask? What orders are gonna come in? Anybody wonder all that? Okay, I got your answers. Aren't you glad? Okay, so there is a basic formula. So the first thing you're gonna do, so just write this down. It's just 4 steps, basic formula, tried and true Mary Kay. All right, here you go. Let them, so you're gonna write, tell about you. So that person's gonna talk about themselves. Tell about me. That's your time to share. Share Mary Kay. So that's when you tell facts about the business. Last is questions and invite. Or you could put decision. Okay? I like invite. It's where you just invite them to join you on your team. Okay? So tell about you, tell about me, share about Mary Kay, get a decision, or questions and invite, however you want to phrase it. Okay, so as she tells about herself, I encourage you just to ask her some basic questions. So if you don't know these, you can just write them down. There's also, you can Google some little different share marketing forms that have this kind of layout already, okay? But I would just encourage you to have these basic questions. You know, tell me more about yourself. What brings you joy? Or what do you value most? If you join my team, what do you think would be the greatest benefit for you in Mary Kay? How can Mary Kay benefit you? And she might say flexibility, income, fun, whatever. And if she says income, it's always good to ask, what would you do with extra money? So you know just where she's at. Oh, now here's a good question. A year from now, if you could be living your dream, what would it be? That's where you find her real passion, right? Maybe she wants to put her kids in private school, or she wants to buy a new home, or whatever it could be. And then what I also like to ask, if we just had a few minutes to talk, what would you most want to know? And I'll tell you how that'll play in a minute. Now, I encourage you, unless you are like a really incredible listener, this was an area as an IDE personality, I had to grow in. So I literally would take notes. Because if I take notes, I can really listen. But otherwise, it's like, squirrel, right? Anybody like that? Yeah, I know. So then you share about yourself. So on your telling about yourself, I encourage you to mirror her. So if she's a real quiet, soft-spoken person, how would you be speaking to her? Would you be like, hey girl, you need to be on my team, and we're gonna go to seminar, we're gonna get all this stuff. Right? You're gonna blow her out of the water. Right? So you mirror her. Not that you change who you are, but naturally we do that with people. It's a people skill thing. That, if you're around somebody and they're talking really fast, then you talk faster. Yeah. Okay? And if somebody is really slow, you slow down. Don't fall asleep. All right. So share about yourself, mirror them, overcome objections. So here's just a little bit of my story. I'll give you a short version, okay? I'm a former elementary music teacher, and I loved what I did. However, I really longed for more flexibility and wanted to be there for my own children in the future. And I had only lived in my town in Northwest Arkansas for a year, so I really didn't know that many people. Not only did I work full-time, I had a part-time job too, so I was a busy girl too. What I found though is I could just do 1 to 2 appointments a week on set times and build a customer base and build a team. And doing that consistently, in that first year we earned our first Mary Kay car, and that second year I was able to leave teaching. Wow. And what it's done for my kids is amazing.
They all learned how to drive in a pink Cadillac. It's been a family business from the time they were little. They were stamping books and putting together tray packs and all kinds of things. And then now, here we are, getting ready to earn our first Mary Kay top trip as a Circle of Excellence unit to Hawaii. But what brings me the greatest joy is helping the women in my unit achieve their goals and their dreams. And I would love to have you be a part of my team. I see such greatness in you, and you could tell her 2 or 3 things of what you see in her. But did you hear me overcome the objections of time, not knowing people? I could have put in there, because it was true, I was scared to ask people at the beginning because I was really afraid of what they would think of me. It was a little educated snob thing, being a teacher or something, I don't know. And an I personality, what people are going to think, and comparison and all that stuff. Then your third thing, so you tell them, she talked, you talked, now you share about Mary Kay. Okay, she answered her question of what she'd most want to know, right? You got to remember that and make sure if you don't share anything else, you share that. Now, I would encourage you to preface it with this. You could ask her, say, okay, now let me share some info about Mary Kay. Would you want to know a little more, or all the details? Because if she says a little, and you go into all the details, it's kind of like when you're doing that individual close, and you just keep talking and talking and talking and talking, and she's like, I would have bought the whole set, but now you've talked so much, you've talked me out of it. Anybody ever been there? So the same thing with sharing. You only want to share enough information for what she needs. Not that you hold back or anything, but it's keep people from being overwhelmed. All right? So I would ask her, do you want to know a little more, all the details? Your C personalities, your detailed people, they're going to want all the details, right? And so you can just tell her all of that. But if they just say a little, then I'd say, okay, let me just answer your couple of questions. Maybe she just wondered what it costs to start and what's the percentage you would earn. And so tell her that, and then say, is there anything else you'd want to know? No, that's it. I think I want to do this. Okay, well, let's get you started. That was the world's fastest sharing appointment, right? And then if you want to know a little more, then you can kind of go over some of the gist of things. Some tools. It helps to have tools. The company does have a new Love What You Do flyer that shares some points and has a picture of the starter kit. You may have another picture of the starter kit fact sheet. There's the steps to the career path team building brochure that you can order, and you can utilize that. Applause magazine, showing those commission checks, especially to a strong personality that wants to be a leader, would be really awesome. Kay last night mentioned having a recruiting notebook, and there are a lot out there. So you could just Google Mary Kay recruiting or team building notebook and see what comes up. The main thing with that is it would give you a template of pages. Like, it would have the same order, trust me. She'll talk, and if it doesn't, then don't choose that one, choose something else. She'll talk, you'll share about yourself, and so when you share about yourself, you want to put pictures in there. Maybe pictures of things you've done, pictures of career conference, pictures of the girlfriend time. Put in a copy of your own weekly accomplishment sheet. You want to show her kind of how the money breaks down. You would just personalize it and put things in it for yourself, and an applause magazine would work. Okay, so then you're going to close. And you're going to ask her, I love to ask these couple of questions. So, hypothetically, you wanted to join my team and you wanted to be a part of Mary Kay. What would make you good? And she kind of self-sells herself back on it. What would make you good? Hypothetically, if you became a consultant, what would make you good? She'd be like, well, I'm good with people. I'm friendly. I'm organized. Don't you love that one? Whatever. She'll just name them and say, oh, yeah, I see that in you. And then you can even ask her when it comes to making a decision, you can go right on and say, any reason why you wouldn't want to just start? Or if you feel like you need to do a little stop in between, you can say, well, most of the time we weigh pros and cons. So I don't know, cons. What's the worst thing that could happen if you got started? If she says, I don't know, say, I know, right? You'll be able to shop for yourself and take care of friends and family at the least. And at the best, you'll build a customer base and be the next sales director in the area or something, right? So, and then you ask that magic question, any reason why we couldn't get you started today? And then I do want to tell you, if she says, well, sounds good, I just need to think about it. Talk to my husband, something like that, okay?
What do you need to think?
There are processors. How many of y'all are processors? Like it takes you a little bit and then you're good, okay? Yeah, so some people need that little bit of time. So this is the answer I would encourage you to share with her, is to say, that's fine. Most people can make a decision in a day or two. Don't y'all agree? I'm like, you buy a car, you buy a house. You decide in a day or two. You don't take a month, because the car or the house won't be there anymore. So a day or two. Say, are you a 24-hour or a 48-hour decision girl? What do you think most people say?
48.
48, you bet. Say, okay, great. So today's Saturday. How about I give you a call Monday? When's better? Well, when I get off work. Okay, great. Let's do that. I will just put a note and I will call you then and we'll just see where you're at. And she's like, oh, I think I really want to do this, but I just need to pray about it. I need to think about it. I need to run it by my husband or whatever. I think respectfully, you need to honor that and not be like, oh, girl, just go ahead now. No, just honor it, okay? Now, you can say, since you're really leaning for it, you want me to go ahead and send you that email invite? And then you would have it. So if you talk to your husband and he's like, sure, baby, go for it. Then you can just go in there and fill it out. And she's like, yeah, you could. Most people, if you ask them, you want me to send the email, they're like, yeah, send an email, it doesn't matter, okay? And then you'd already have that kind of in the works. All right, sharing, is that good? Okay, here we go. Lastly, what I want to share with you is how to catch yourself from falling into that negative thinking. Because how many of us have ever thought that you wanted to move forward, or I should say, have any of y'all thought, what's wrong with me? Right? And if some of you have been senior consultant for a while and you haven't moved forward, or maybe you've been forward and you've come back, or maybe you're new and you want to move forward but you're not moving fast enough, anybody there? Sometimes we think, what is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful. You are created in the image of God. You are more than enough. You are amazing just the way you are. So I encourage you, when those thoughts start going, give yourself this litmus test. 4 things. Numbers don't lie, do they? Right? So I want you to ask yourself, have I facialed enough? Because if you've only been in front of like 10 people, then that's probably not enough yet. But if you've shared with 10, you very well should probably have at least 1 or 2 out of there. And so if you hadn't seen the numbers, then great, we'll move on to the next one I'm going to tell you about. But if it's the numbers, like, well, yeah, I've only facialed like 5 people last month and 7 the month before, you're just not seeing enough. You need to be seeing that many like every week or more, okay? So don't be hard on yourself. Just know, okay, girl, we got to get in gear and go see more people. So I want to do this little illustration with you for the numbers, okay? So when you see a face card, that's a yes, and a number card is a no. And in a deck of cards, this is like team building, okay? 1 out of 5 that you sit down and share marketing with should join your team. Sometimes even 1 out of 4. And we have found the odds, when I talk about the 100, and you'll have 10 team members, that's what we've seen in our unit, of just the people we facial, about 10% will join your team. So if you take this 100 face challenge of 100 faces in 100 days, you're gonna have 10 team members. Okay, so ready? When you see a face card, say yes.
Yes. No.
Can all y'all see these?
No.
Sorry. Should have gotten some bigger cards. Okay, front row, y'all gotta really help me.
No. 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 No.
Are you getting frustrated?
Yeah. Yes.
Woo, we came through, right?
No. No.
starting to get frustrated? No. I'm just not doing it right. There's something wrong with me. I still got it, right? You get the point? It's the numbers. Okay, second thing that you got to use is your litmus test. So when you're wondering, what's wrong with me? Am I seeing the numbers? Second thing is, what is your target market? If you are facial and people, as my national arena target would say, if they ain't got no money, can't get no money, yeah, you're gonna feel like you're hitting a brick wall, okay? Or if they're super young or they're super old, you know, you may fall into that too. It's gonna be that middle age range from early 20s to 60s that are gonna be your top ones, that are gonna be kind of your target market. I won't go into details there, y'all got it. Next is the skills. Third thing, how is your skills? So it's the numbers, the target market, and your skills. Practice, practice, practice is all I can say. So this formula I gave you, I love the best challenge of all is to go do it with 10 people. And you can just say, hey, could I practice? Your mom, your sister, your best friend, your neighbor, your best customers. Just let me practice, because you never know, there could be somebody in that mix, right? And then finally, look within. It may not be that it is all you in a negative way, but it can be your thoughts, right? Because what you think about, you bring about. And if you were thinking, team building is hard, nobody wants to be on my team, wham, 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 what's gonna happen? Nobody's gonna be on your team. And instead, if you're thinking powerful thoughts, things will change for you. The other thing when it comes to thinking of yourself is, what is your desire level? Because sometimes we just don't want it bad enough. You know, we kind of want it, and there's an difference in being interested and being committed. So it's the committed that you're going to see the results on. How many of you have seen the movie Rudy? Right? I just saw that again a couple of weeks ago. It is so inspiring. If you haven't seen it, go see it. At this point, you're going to have to, red box it or something. But it is so inspiring because he wanted it so bad. He wanted to be a Notre Dame football player so bad. He told everybody, there's a lesson, tell everybody your goal. I'm Destination Red bound. I'm becoming a red jacket. Whatever's your goal, you tell everybody. The next thing is that he put things into action. He went there. He didn't make it in school, and so he had to be a part of a junior college for a while, but he upped his grades and he kept reapplying, and finally he made it in. And then finally he got on the team just to be a practice dummy. But his grit, his determination, his sheer work ethic inspired the whole team to do more and be more. And his desire is what helped him at that last game to lead the whole team on the field and to play in the last few minutes. So how bad do you want it, girls? I gotta tell you, it is worth it. It is so worth it. There's not a day goes by that I'm not so grateful that I said yes and I put things in action. A director, a national, is only in our position because our knees are just bloodier. We've gotten more no's, had more disappointments, and we've learned to just shake it off and keep going. So what I want you to do as we close is I want you to just close your eyes. And let's visualize where you can go. Right now, I want you to see yourself sitting with a friend, and you are practicing these skills you just learned. You're sharing about your Mary Kay business. You're listening, you're laughing together, you see her smiling, she's so grateful. And then you're talking to another one, and another person. And then that next one, she signs up. She's on your team. You're so excited, and she is so excited and so grateful. You have another one. She comes as a guest, and she signs up. And then the next time, after you meet with a few more, you add that third team member. There you go. You're at your unit meeting. You're pinning one new consultant. And then the next, you're getting to talk about them, brag about them. And their joy is just oozing out of their pores. And you think, wow, God, you're really using me to make a difference in these women's lives. Next thing you know, it's your red jacket debut. You're wearing that red jacket. You cannot help from smile because you are so glad that you set a goal and you accomplished it and you moved forward and you are making a difference in these women's lives. Maybe there's a red carpet. There's going to be balloons. There's going to be gifts. There's going to be cakes. There's going to be celebration. You see that commission check then come. What a blessing. And then here it is, October 7th, 2019. All aboard, that's right. You're at the dock. You're getting ready to load the ship. You look at the ship and you're like, oh my God, it's so much bigger than I thought it would be. And the person you're bringing with you is so excited too. And as you board, that person next to you looks at you and says, thank you. Thank you, thank you for not giving up, for digging in, for doing things out of your comfort zone, and to helping us be on this trip. You have a grateful heart, and you're so glad that you stepped out on your belief. You can open your eyes. It's all going to come about, girls. It's all coming. Just believe and then take it and put it in action. Okay, as we close, I want you to put your notebook down. I want you to stand up and repeat after me, my favorite affirmations. I will let nobody push my buttons.
I will let nobody push my buttons.
I will let nobody rain on my parade.
I will let nobody rain on my parade.
I will go over.
I will go over.
I'll go under.
I'll go under.
I will push through any obstacle that comes my way.
I will push through any obstacle that comes my way.
Because I am highly motivated.
Because I'm highly motivated.
And truly dedicated.
And truly dedicated.
And part of Destination Red.
And part of Destination Red.
Because I'm in red.
Because I'm in red.
Woo!